Yo, what's good, everybody? You already knew Pat Bev wasn't about to let his exchange with D. Wade end there. After the two went back and forth, it was only a matter of time before Patrick Beverley had something else to say. And if you missed the original situation that started all of this, make sure you check out the video in the left-hand corner when this one wraps up. Pat clearly wasn't interested in backing down, so now let's hear exactly how he responded. And before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest updates.
Truth is this, right? I listened to it a little bit. He lost me when you said if you're not better than me in anything, you can't speak on it. So by that, you telling me the only person that can really speak on you, Dwyane Wade, is either Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. If you're number 3 greatest shooting guard of all time, and rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. So only person that can talk about you is Michael Jordan, right? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, right? As athletes, we criticize people who don't play basketball that give us criticism. Now we have people who do play basketball, who has played basketball on the highest level for over a decade. Now their word isn't valid either. He made the point of if you're not better at me than anything. So I like to fact check. I'm huge on fact checking. Career rise from the three-point, the shot that you shoot that's worth 3 points. I think he's 29% and I'm 37%. I don't even think it's close, right? I don't even think it's close. When it comes to defense, right? Hell of a defender. He got 3 second teams, right? I got 3 defensive awards also. 1 is first team, right? 2 is second team. So I can what can I say now? You can't speak on defense, Dwyane Wade, because you've never made first team. I've made first team, you haven't, right? These are facts, right? Again, I don't know if it's the messenger or the.
Look, Pat, D. Wade already made his point about the messenger. His argument was that you didn't have the resume or status to be speaking on him at that level. And honestly, plenty of fans seem to see it the same way. From their perspective, the two of you simply aren't comparable, especially when they remember how emotional you got celebrating a play-in victory. And then, bringing overall three-point shooting percentages into the conversation, that comparison is wild and doesn't really prove much. Even if Pat Bev had somehow shot 45% from deep, it still wouldn't automatically change the argument. Teams weren't building defensive game plans around shutting him down offensively. It's hard to imagine an NBA coach walking into a game saying, "Our priority is stopping Pat Bev from scoring." That simply wasn't his role. Whenever he stepped onto the floor, he was generally working as a 4th or 5th option offensively, while making his impact in other areas. But here's where things get interesting. This whole debate originally started with Wade and Harden. Once you start questioning another player's actual craft, though, it doesn't take much before the conversation.
I'm only going to speak on facts, right? This is facts. I'm going to head to my phone on this one because I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down. And I like to look up my things. Okay, here we go. We're going to go Harden versus Wade. All right, we're going to go MVPs total, Harden. We're going to go scoring titles. We're going to go Harden. We go assist titles. We go James Harden. We go all NBA first teams, James Harden. We go all NBA second teams, James Harden. Now we go to career totals, right? Career totals and points, James Harden. Career totals and assists, James Harden. Career totals and rebounds, James Harden. Career totals and steals, James Harden. Career totals and blocks, Dwyane Wade. Now, these are all facts. Now, if I was to read this whole list backwards, right, in reverse to all the viewers out there, if I was to read this whole list, and every time I say Harden, I said Dwyane Wade, and after I was done, I said, yeah, James Harden is the best player. Y'all will look at me crazy. I think this argument isn't a disrespect to Dwyane Wade. I honestly think from what I'm hearing, I think it's a disrespect to James Harden. We're talking about statistically, all facts, statistically the best player to pick up a basketball and run a pick and roll. The #1 offense in basketball ever. He's the best player at that. He's the best player to run a pick and roll. He is one of the only few top 10 scorers with double digits. And when I mean double digits, I mean 10,000 assists. I think it's LeBron James one and then him second when it comes to assists. Also scoring over 20,000 points, right? I think this is a disrespect to James Harden. But look, I know what people are going to say. Pat, man, you talking about career, man. We ain't talking about career. We talking about, man, as Dwyane Wade said, his career was cut short because of injuries. And to me, long.
There's really not much you can dispute about what he said, because when it comes down to the facts, Harden does have the stronger statistical resume. But choosing between the two ultimately comes down to what you value most. You can line up the numbers, compare scoring totals, MVPs, and all the other accomplishments, but eventually a lot of people are going to trust what they saw with their own eyes. For some fans, championships carry the most weight, even though basketball is still a team sport and one player can't control everything. Still, rings matter heavily in these debates, and that's where Harden has a major gap because he has yet to win one. Then there's the longevity argument. James has been able to maintain a longer career, especially considering the serious knee issues Wade dealt with by 2013. Now, obviously, we can't rewrite history with the whole what could have happened argument. The hypotheticals don't count. But when you narrow the conversation down to each player's absolute peak, suddenly the debate takes a completely different turn. And that raises the real question. Does it actually?
I'm going to go to 2006, right? I'm going to go 2006. That was Flash. God damn it, Flash. I'm going to go 2006 Flash. And then I'm going to go 2018 James Harden, right? This 2018 James Harden versus 2006 Dwyane Wade Flash. Points per game, James Harden. Assists per game, James Harden. 2-point percentages, James Harden. 3-point percentages, James Harden. Effective field goal percentages, James Harden. True shooting percentages, James Harden. PER, James Harden. Win shares, James Harden. Win shares 48 minutes, James Harden. BPM, James Harden. VORP, James Harden. Team wins, James Harden. And Harden also did all of this while playing 3 fewer minutes per game. He did all of this while playing 3 minutes less than Dwyane Wade. I think this isn't a disrespect to Dwyane Wade. I think by what I'm hearing, and I'm hearing from the fan bases, I think this is a total disrespect to James Harden. We're talking about a guy who on December 13, 2018, had 50 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. On January 30th, 2018, James Harden has 60 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. On January 27, 2017, James Harden had 51 points, 13 rebounds, 13 assists. And December 31st, 2016, 53 points, 16 rebounds, 17 assists. This shit is video games numbers. This shit don't even seem real. Right? This shit don't even.
Everybody knows peak James Harden was an absolute force, especially during the regular season. But when the playoffs arrived and the pressure reached another level, that's where the criticism followed him. Year after year, despite sharing the floor with elite talent, he couldn't quite finish the job. We're talking about playing alongside stars like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, and Joel Embiid, yet the championship still never came. That's been the biggest criticism attached to Harden throughout his career. When the moment demanded everything, he often came up short. Dwyane Wade, meanwhile, proved he could deliver when it mattered, winning 3 championships during his career. But honestly, the fact that fans can debate these two at all tells you there's a legitimate case to be made on both sides. So now I want to hear from you. Who are you taking?